Hi, here we are. It's the 9th of July, and we just finished week 3, and we're having the onerous task of taking Maddie, Mejia to the airport for him to head off to college and have a last visit with his mom and pack up. It seems weird, Eric, that we've known Matt now, 3.5 years?
Just about.
Seems like a lot longer.
Yeah.
What's your first Matt memory?
My first Matt memory? I can't remember, because honestly, there's been so many that I honestly can't remember the first. But there's definitely been some great ones. I mean, just hanging out at camp. I mean, I remember we would always listen to this one song. It's called "Carry On," like my wayward, "Carry On Wayward."
Carry on my wayward.
That one right there.
Yeah.
One of the summers, and that just got us
through the rough patches.
When it was
when we had
little Kansas.
when we were popping ibuprofen like candy.
Right.
Well, I can't imagine why. For sure, that's funny. My first big memory of Matt is his mother. Joe cornered me when I was at Camp Verde, and I knew that she was going to be somebody who was going to really not only help her own child, but help other people. She was pretty cool. And then I found out she was a flight trauma nurse, and I started to get why, because she really, genuinely cares. And single mom raising Maddie, and he was so well behaved and nice. A little too clever maybe, but not. I'll see that face. He knows. What's it called this summer? Exposed.
Exposed.
Who came up with that?
I don't even know.
I don't know who said it first.
They just started saying it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting in trouble when they say exposed.
Oh man.
I don't know. So what do you guys think, both of you? You're going to wrestle at D1 next year at Northwestern?
Yes, ma'am.
Incredible.
I'm kind of nervous, but definitely a lot more excited than anything. I'm excited for the new experience, and I'm kind of welcoming the new culture I'm gonna get from shifting from the West Coast and California to the Midwest and Chicago, that area. So I'm really excited to see what the culture change is, and definitely more excited for the wrestling too, because that's a whole nother level than high school, and it's gonna be pretty crazy for sure.
Well, I think you're well prepared, and what a great opportunity to wrestle with Storniola.
Yeah,
I think the world of Matt, and I think he'll be creative with your style, which is,
right,
of course, similar, but not similar to Jason, just in the sense that you know how to use your body
right.
so incredibly well.
For me, I'm still kind of, I don't know what to call it, in awe, I guess, that someone would think that my wrestling is good enough to invest money into. But I'm very excited to start wrestling in college. I'm excited to see how far I can take it and how well I do, and see what I need to work on.
Well, that in and of itself, that statement right there, I'm in awe that somebody wants to invest money. I think many people don't really, a lot of athletes coming out of high school don't really see it. They think they've earned it or deserve it, and they don't realize how hard it's going to be. And I think that was what was impressive to me this year about you and Drew and Alec McKenna, and a lot of the kids who've been out banging, not only to help, which of course we appreciate and want, but look at Lorenzo Della Riva coming over at night while he's on vacation, wrestling live with good people, and
Right.
Jordan Jimenez and all of our regular guys. But when you've been here for 3 weeks trying to get better, you guys aren't off in the back saying, hey, we're counselors, but can we go out to eat an In-N-Out burger and not learn anything new?
Right.
You guys have really been incredible. So I could see why you would be a great investment, Matt, especially coming from Camp Verde and an environment where not everybody makes the effort to succeed. It's not like where Eric and my daughter and Alec McKenna, for another example, at New Trier, or these guys went to school. They went to school with everybody going to college, and you go to school where some people are going to live on the reservation or do other stuff, but they aren't necessarily going to be academically inclined. So for you to have done as well academically and now be going to two-time Arizona State champ too, and all this national level competition, I could see why they would want you. And you have a wrestling style that people aren't familiar with, but is coming into its own. So I get that.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Anything else you want to say on that topic?
On that topic?
Well, any topic. Topic away.
I'm just thankful for prep in general, and how big the support system is kind of mind-boggling. There's so many people to turn to whenever you need help at prep. It's just everyone, and you need to talk to someone about anything, about life, about girls, about about whatever, about wrestling. You have like 10 people at your disposal for whatever you need. It's crazy. It's great.
Well, it's great. I mean, and that is for sure. I'm so grateful for, I'm so grateful for all of that too. It really makes a huge difference. All the people who come together to put everything together and then are just available. I mean, on a regular basis. I don't know of anywhere where you can go and practice and wrestle and then go over and wrestle with fighters who are genuinely interested. I mean, when Eric, for the first time ever, when Eric got placed at state this year, I mean, Josh Thompson, all those guys, Luke, everybody was so excited. Javier Mendez, Joanna, everybody wanted to have their picture taken with them. And I think you and Jesse and I were over there, and I mean, they were genuinely excited.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It was definitely really, really cool. To get that special attention from someone who's so famous, and it was a really, really great moment.
Well, they genuinely love you and care about you,
right,
and want to know how you're doing. I mean, I think that's what's so. You've been with them now for 3.5 years.
Yes.
Over there and helping out and coaching Alejandro.
Right.
And making a difference for the fighters. Of course, it's really. I don't know. I think it's really great, and I'm excited for the remaining 4 weeks of camp. It's always different when, for me. So Drew's left. He'll be back for a week or so. Maddie's going to be leaving. Now it leaves you and I sort of, that group. And then Davion's coming back.
Right.
Now Davion will be here. David Campbell's going to be here for 3 weeks.
Right.
The Thomas twins and Mikey Longo said they wanted to come up if they're available. So, now's the time to check in with them. But I think that's what's great. So many people now who have camps and stuff, and they have counselors, that come in for one day and they show their stuff, but it's not always an opportunity for the counselors to get better or the clinicians. Not that those guys really necessarily need to or want to, but we do. When people come, not only do they get to coach and hang out, but they also get to get better. And it's funny because so many people ask us and say, I want to come to a day of your camp, coach a day of your camp. But it's hard. Well, go ahead, say what you're going to say.
It's just, you can't just come for a day.
Well, right. It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
And they don't have any understanding of how it works. And so then you get like JD and I, and that's a great, what are you going to say?
Dynamic duo.
Yeah, what does JD call us? Black man and Robinette. Yeah, Black man and Robinette.
I love JD.
Yeah, he's the best.
Strive to be like JD.
Well, yeah, me too.
JD's like a sage. He has like always spitting some wisdom that every day he's telling me something new. That's always helpful, and that's always
Yes.
gonna change me for the better.
Yes, the word of the day.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I need to get in that group chat.
You have to text me. Do you get it every day?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it too. And it's so funny how many times something will be going on, and within 5 minutes, JD will text me with something. And I know because I know he wants to, and it's germane to the problem,
Right.
and or situation or opportunity. But JD, wants to be that person, wants to have that capacity. Spends time when he's. I think sometimes when he leaves and goes back to the hotel or wherever he is, he's actually just trying to figure out how to have more capacity, read more things, be open to more insight from God or whatever it is he's working on.
Right.
And I think to have somebody like that who really literally wants to be here all the time
Priceless.
is priceless. Yeah. And flattered. He wants to go anywhere and coach any of the most famous people, but he wants to be with people who wants to get better.
Right.
And I think people feel the same way, a younger degree, about y'all, about you and Maddie and Drew.
Thank you.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys, they want to be around. They want to get better. Do you remember when you made the jump from wanting to be just at camp to wanting to lead?
I think I do. I definitely do. I was a sophomore, and it was the first year after I had done the boots and weights, gone through boots and one fall of boots and weights. So.
Changed Eric's life forever.
It changed my life forever. So I started to after that season, I got a lot better at the body leveraging, got a lot better at wrestling, and saw improvements like everywhere, all across the board. And there are always people in the back, and didn't really associate with them because I didn't want to be in that part of that crowd that didn't want to work, because who comes to a wrestling camp to not work? So
Right. Well, they shouldn't come.
so I
here.
ended up just kind of finding myself in the front with the people who were working the hardest, so I could aspire to be like them and see what they were like. And eventually, it just happened to be me, just at the top. So definitely, I think just aspiring to be like the people, like the John Andretti's, the Mark Klamico, all those guys like Peter Santos, all those guys who I looked up to when I was younger.
Devin Reynolds.
Yeah, Devin Reynolds, all those guys. So just watching them and being in that environment and seeing that I could be like that definitely helped me and like kind of led me towards becoming like the guy who's kind of leading.
Well, and I think in your group too, the early leadership that was shown by Israel and Emilio and Angel, and trying to get better all the time, was probably helpful to you too. What did you remember when it was, Maddie?
Well, the first summer that I came, I was horrible at the body leveraging. I could do front roll. That's about what I could do. And I remember, I think it might have been the end of when I was staying, like the last week, or maybe the next holiday camp that I came. But you asked me to come like demo something in front of everyone, and I was like, me? Like
The SpongeBob meme.
What'd you say?
The SpongeBob meme.
And I was just like, oh, like, okay. And I did it, and like everything was fine. And then people were asking me like how to do it later, and I'm like trying to help them out the best I could. And helping people made me better at it. It made me understand everything more. So it really wanted me to like help people out, because I figured out that if I help people, it's gonna help me. I can really understand everything thoroughly, and that's what I try to do now. Just try to help everyone.
Well, you do a great job of it. Well, then Eric got stuck going on the road.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't call it stuck. I got to experience.
We got to go a lot of fun places.
Definitely, I got to go to North Carolina, Virginia, Colorado, Missouri. Where else? Pennsylvania. I would definitely not call it being stuck on the road, more as just getting experience of seeing the world and getting better at wrestling, viewing different styles of wrestling across the country, and
All the colleges you got to see.
I definitely got to see a lot of colleges like Duke, NC State, Northwestern.
Oh, yeah. Remember when Joey Abadi came running?
Right, Joey Abadi. It was great seeing him. I mean, but yeah, definitely it was a great experience getting to travel around, see what I liked and didn't like about America, and like where I wanted, and that definitely like impacted like where I wanted to go for college and whatnot.
Remember we were in Virginia in that weird gas station?
I do remember that. some guy at the gas station, he looked at Carolyn and said, "I dream of you. I dream of you tonight."
What?
And I didn't, when I say thank you or something, I was probably polite.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh, I know you said, "Oh, bless your little heart." And then oh man.
That's kind of my home country. I think Eric, we went down to see some really great people.
Right.
Dr. Potter, those guys,
Yes.
down in Western Virginia, kind of near where I'm from in East, Kentucky. Eric he was so excited when we went to the Bob's Big Boy, because he got all this food he never had before.
Oh, the Bob Cook, right?
No, not Bob Cook. Bob's Big Boy. Bob Shoney's. Do you remember? And you wanted like pickled.
Oh, I do remember that.
Okra and all that stuff.
It was right next to the river, the
Yes.
ocean, right? Oh, I do remember that. We had these sliders that were.
Oh, that was the Teresa. That was the Smithfield ham
yeah, that
sliders.
was a different one.
Country ham. Eric's been a lot of places.
Yeah,
A lot of places.
I ate a lot on that trip.
Well, Eric seems to think that eating is his favorite treat.
Eating is great.
There's nothing better than eating.
That's what my girlfriend Erica used to say. She said it was better than sex. I thought, well, I don't know.
Neck and
We should
neck.
probably
Neck
try
and neck.
neck and neck.
That Noodles and Company, I should
Noodles and Company was
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Especially after eating camp food. Camp food this year's been pretty good.
Oh, we've been
It has been. It's
spoiled.
definitely been spoiled. We definitely have the.
Crawford's have come through. Everybody's come through. So great having Kiki as our National Director of Operations, right? What a big step that is. And then, with all the plans for next year, I think we're really It'll really be a big event. We can help a lot of people. And I've liked this year how we've divided up the instruction based on how much people have learned.
Right.
And then moving them through the groups and then getting better. And then, to have people like Elijah Tanner, two-time Oklahoma State champs, people from Florida, Minnesota, everywhere. Oh, the Minnesota people are coming later, Montana. All these people here who understand why they have to learn all this stuff. They don't have to be the big fish in the pond right off the boat. They're willing to learn, and then they see how well everybody, wrestles, and they want to learn it. That's a great atmosphere that you guys have created.
Willing to fail.
Willing to fail. Yeah, be resilient. I think Ginger Tom's speech was right on. We're trying to get him to review it. Once he gets out of Beast, he'll review it, and if he approves it, then we'll publish that, because I think that was, and I didn't get to hear all of Ricky Padilla's, but hopefully we've got that on film too. We'll have to get him to review it.
Right.
And then we'll post those. And I think now too, with this particular group, we're going to spend more time. Now that we have Kiki, we're going to be bringing on some other full-time people, and I'll be able to go to more college events. And now I'm more welcome at college events. I mean, not that I'm never not welcome, but Nate Engel and Kevin Ward, people like Frank Beasley, certainly Storniola, and then when you have people who are contributing and running regional training centers like the Bill McKenna's and stuff, who value what you coach, want you to coach their kid, like JD and I coaching Alec, working with Alec in the summer. That just gives us more opportunity for us to stay intact, as you have an opportunity to learn and do what all these other unbelievable coaches and wrestlers have, but to be able to watch it and go, oh sugar, let's tighten this muscle or do this and make it better.
Right. It's so great to get all this national level exposure, just because you see everything, and you know what works, what doesn't.
Oh, you mean when I'm coaching you all back here?
Right.
Gotcha.
Carolyn, she goes everywhere. She on the national high school level, even the college level now. She's all over the place. So she sees what works, what doesn't work, and pretty much takes back the best and gives it back to us.
It's pretty cool. I had to fight to get in this car today. Had to fight to get in my own car to take Matt to the airport. All of a sudden, everybody wants the airport drive. What's that like, Matt? What's it feel like to go somewhere and then everybody know both of you from camp, and have had 2,000 kids come through camp that know who you are?
It's crazy. It's never would have thunk it in a million years that many kids would know me and would want to know me. So it's,
yeah.
I just try to stay humble. I mean, I tell myself I'm just a normal guy.
It's hard being E-Yang.
I'm just a normal guy, just like anyone else. And
I think I saw a petition last night, E-Yang for president.
I think I heard about that actually. But yeah, definitely, it's good to be humble and be grounded in your roots.
I was really impressed with that young man from South Korea last night.
Oh yeah.
His boys on the fight. Certainly thrilled for the Padillas. So great that all these kids got to meet Julia and Ricky,
Right.
and then to see Tatiana, who looks exactly like Julia, do what she did last night. We really enjoyed that. And then I think the last thing that I was really want to talk about, or unless there's something else y'all want to talk about, was just the way how grateful I am at how well Daniel handled the John Jones debacle. Poor John, obviously needs to get some help. And I guess, I don't know if I told you all last night, but it came out that his B test came up positive too. The second sample, not just the first. So it was pretty serious, and I know that, here's Daniel, and I was trying to explain, I hope I did, here's Daniel just training to be the best Daniel.
Right.
And so now, these good things are happening to him. I just see him as the antithesis and the opposite of everything that people who want something self-gratifying quickly without hard work, I see him as the opposite. And you know him.
Right.
You've been around him a long time. Y'all have any thoughts on that?
Definitely. Carolyn talked about it just this last week, and on Friday she was talking about how, really Daniel's been pretty much come across all odds, or like beat all the odds. He gained a lot of weight, like missed weight at the Olympics, and comes back from gaining like a ton of weight, cuts it back down, and then now he's back. He's good to go, and he's just like Carolyn said, just working for going against the instant gratification and going for the more long-term effects and long-term win. That makes me really respect Daniel, and the fact that he's just such a great, like, down-to-earth person.
Well, how many times have you seen him coaching little kids at AKA? Because so Eric and I are at AKA together, have been together at AKA on Monday and Tuesday nights for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Right.
And tell him what it's like. I mean, Daniel's in there coaching all those little kids.
Yeah, DC is always in there, just, you know, helping these guys out. I usually come towards the latter end of his practice, so I always see him doing the conditioning, and he's always like, "Oh, push yourself," you know, making these kids work hard, make them, like, you know, get a feel for what the sport is like and with the intensity, and it's really great. I mean, he's been to have such a famous person caring so much for just the sport.
Yeah, it's not a photo op for him.
Yeah, it's definitely not anything for fame. It's just genuine helping out, and, you know, for the better of the wrestling community. And you know, practice with him too, and he's definitely not super stuck up or anything. I shake his hand, and he's always super thankful that we come in, and I'm super thankful that he lets us come in as well. So I mean, I really am thankful to have to know someone like Daniel in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, it's like you said, it's heartbreaking to see that Daniel's not going to get his shot at Jones. I was really looking forward to watching them fight. I think that Daniel was going to come out guns blazing, but everything happens for a reason. Like you said, Daniel's done everything right, everything he was supposed to do, everything he needed to do, and more. And now he's on top. It's all there is to it. And I respect him so much, and I admire how much effort he puts into everything he does. You're telling me that he goes to every kid's birthday party on his team,
yeah,
all these events, and that's crazy, because I know how busy I am, and I get run down, and I probably don't do like anything like 1/6 of what he does. So it's just
I remember watching a video when he was going to fight years ago when he first got in the UFC. You know how they do all those in-depth, you know, when they come to AK and they do all the filming. Well, the other guy had moved away from his family, which of course I understand, you know, to train, but he had like two or three little kids, and his wife was taking care of him by herself, and here's Daniel. I mean, he's up, getting Kiki and little Dan up and getting them dressed, and, you know, going off to pick up the new tire for the car and living his life and training. Doing the broadcasting and training, you know, being a friend to Javier and Joanna and training, you know, making sure Kane's okay. It's not okay, but, you know, has his workout partner and
right.
Training. You know, I learned a long time ago, I used to text him to be polite and say, "Hey, Daniel, can I talk to you tomorrow?" But I stopped doing it because he would call me immediately and say, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" I don't let my friends, I don't like that with my friends. I'm like, "Okay, I got it." So now I just ask him on the spot, right, because I realized that he sincerely is that person. Sincerely, both of them, he and Lena, both. So I don't know, Matt. We're getting close to the airport, love.
We are.
3 miles.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. Any last things you guys want to say on this video? I know we'll have a lot more, but
no, I think I'm good for now. I think I'm good. We covered a good amount right now. Yeah.
I just want to say how thankful I am for prep. I honestly would never be where I am now without prep. Going to Flow, going to Super 32 and Journeyman, I never would have gone on my own, not in a million years. And without that exposure, it's hard to get a good scholarship. So I got to thank Carolyn for everything I have right now.
Well, thank yourself, and you're an incredibly great mom, and what a great friend your mom has been. You know, your family has been to all of us, and your brothers. You know, taking us hunting and shooting and all that stuff. So, all right, we're out for now. Week 3, day 7. And yeah, peace out. Over 1,200 kids so
a lot of
far.
kids.
A lot of people. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.